Charlotte detectives have made an arrest in a 28-year-old sexual assault cold case. James Ingersoll accused of sexually assaulting a woman in 1994. The forensic samples from that scene matched with another sexual assault case in 2010. This one happened in Columbia, South Carolina. Through genetic genealogy, detectives were able to narrow down a suspect. They collected Ingersoll's DNA and it matched to the two sexual assaults. Tonight we have an update on the groom who was badly hurt in a crash that killed his Charlotte bride on their wedding night. Eric Hutchinson now recovering at home. His mother, Annette Hutchinson, provided the update on a GoFundMe page, which was started shortly after Eric and his wife Samantha were involved in that crash. According to his mom, Eric suffered 2 broken legs and broken bones in his face. He is now working with Samantha's family to plan her funeral. Coming up next here.